I'm Macy Egland. A man detained for questioning in the search for Nancy Guthrie has reportedly been released. A Phoenix TV station interviewed a delivery man who said he was detained on suspicions of kidnapping Guthrie. He says he told police he was innocent and was released after several hours, but local and federal authorities have not confirmed that. Now, this all came hours after the FBI released these surveillance images of an armed and masked person on Guthrie's Arizona doorstep the night she vanished. The 84-year-old mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie disappeared February 1st. You can read the latest on the case on our website, Newsday.com. A Lawrence High School employee is due in court today accused of inappropriately touching a student. 59-year-old Constantine Theodosio is charged with forcible touching and child endangerment. It's not clear what his role is at the school. First in Newsday, a tax break for disabled veterans in the town of Hempstead. Lawmakers opted into a new law signed by the governor last year. It allows counties, cities, and villages to give property tax exemptions to veterans permanently disabled as a result of their service. Brookhaven opted in last month. A Walmart wants to convert its Riverhead store into a supercenter. The retail giant needs to submit an official site plan application to the town for approval. If that goes through, the expansion would include a full-service supermarket and a dedicated online pickup section. Adelphi University will borrow $55 million to upgrade its Garden City campus. Improvements include a new computer system and heating and cooling systems. Most of that work will be done when students are on break. Only a Newsday, a former Long Island hockey star, is headed to the state's Hockey Hall of Fame. Buzz Deschamps played with the Long Island Ducks from 1962 to 1964. He'll be inducted into the Hall in July, along with several other notable names.
It's quite an honor, right, with the people I'm going in there with. Nick Patillo and Donnie Maloney and Neil Smith, Kenny Morrow. I mean, these are all people I've known most of my hockey life.
Deschamps worked as a scout for the Rangers and Flames. Now he's Oyster Bay's hockey ambassador. Let's talk about your Wednesday weather now. It's sunny and warmer today, but we do have some pretty strong wind to contend with. Highs will be close to 40 degrees today, which will be great. But again, that wind will be strong. Some gusts could be as high as 26 miles per hour, so just be prepared for that. Tomorrow, the sun and wind will stick around. It'll be a touch cooler. Milder weather through the weekend. At least we're above freezing, right? Sunday night into President's Day, there's a chance for some rain and snow, but dry and sunny and warm on Tuesday.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
AI is everywhere these days. In schools, it can help students with things like innovation and reading. For teachers, it saves time on lesson planning and grading. But do the risks of artificial intelligence outweigh the benefits? A new report says yes. Joining me now to talk more about this is Newsday education reporter Darwin Yanis, Roberto Joseph, professor and acting chair of the Teaching, Learning and Technology Department at Hofstra University, and Kings Park Superintendent Timothy Egan. Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it. Darwin, we want to start with you. You reported on this. We just highlighted some of the benefits of AI among some other benefits as well. But this new report by the Brookings Institute found that AI is also risky. How so? Tell us about that.
At this point, the authors of the study say that it could hurt the foundational development of a child. It could create dependency and an over-reliance on this that could hurt a child's creativity. It could undermine trust with educators, and it could just impact other, ability of a child to learn.
It makes sense because, I feel like a lot of the time, if you have the easy option, you're going to take it. And that's not just children, right? I'm sure that's adults as well. Like, we're all pulling out our calculators when we're figuring out the tip at a restaurant and things like that. So it is interesting to think about. But Roberto, AI, as we know, isn't always 100% accurate, right? It depends kind of what you're looking into. You say that users could run into some trouble with that. Tell us about that concern.
Well, AI unchecked could be detrimental. So, for example, if a kid is writing a paper and they prompt AI for the answer, the paper, and you might have the AI system, ChatGPT, spit out the paper with unchecked resources. So then they hand in the paper, and it's not checked for the proper resources. So that's an example of AI used without checks and balances.
We need to be careful, for sure. Timothy, let's get over to you. We know this is being used in schools. How are you guys teaching your students about AI over in Kings Park?
So, number one, making sure that our graduates can transition into the workforce is super important. So, in my mind, teaching kids to use AI safely and appropriately is not a maybe, it's really a must. Schools are governed by what's called New York State Ed Law 2D. So what that means is we need to be really careful and protect students' data. So we are introducing our students, K-12, to various AI tools and devices, but making sure that they're doing so in a safe manner and making sure that their student data is protected.
Important to find that balance, for sure, because you're right, you don't want to set them up to fail in that they don't know how to use AI responsibly, but also, want to be careful. So Darwin, the report does have a number of recommendations for the use of AI, because this is just our new reality, right? This is the life we are living. It's there. They're going to use it. What are some of those recommendations in how to responsibly use this?
Sure. So one of the recommendations they give in the study is when creating these educational tools to incorporate or to get input from educators, students, and other community members to make sure this is a good tool for students. Also to better prepare teachers so they can responsibly teach or use AI in a way that doesn't take away from that authentic learning experience. And also when school systems go out to purchase or to acquire this technology, that they find things that have built-in privacy and security measures.
Timothy, let's get back over to you. Do you think schools should be embracing AI, kind of all things considered?
Absolutely. The primary goal of schools is to prepare the future workforce, and if our students are going to be successful in competing for jobs when they leave high school, they need to be able to use AI. We used to say AI isn't going to replace people; it'll replace people who aren't using AI. But we're also finding that's no longer true. There are certain jobs that and entry-level positions that no longer exist, that AI has taken over. So, it's absolutely important that schools prepare students for post-high school work and future study. And AI is just embedded in everything that we do these days. It's really important.
Roberto, you mentioned some concerns about some of the information through AI not being, correct. Do you think AI is something that should be regulated?
Yeah, I think in some ways we should regulate AI. We shouldn't allow the technology just to come into the schools. So, in other words, like people like myself, like Timothy, we need to be at the table when AI is being developed and to give our ideas to the technology. So I think we should be first and foremost consulted on these kinds of technologies.
It's like a group discussion, because this is new. This is new. We're all kind of learning at the same time, so definitely an important discussion. Considering the future of our children, the future of all of us with AI. So thank you all for being here, part of this discussion. Again, my thanks to Darwin Yanis, Roberto Joseph, and Timothy Egan for being part of this discussion. You can read more about Darwin's story on our website, newsday.com. Thank you all.
Newsday Sports is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy. Need to maintain or repair an old solar system? Trust Sun Nation Service to fix it like new.
Mets pitchers and catchers have their first spring training workout today, and the team's all-star shortstop is already being evaluated for an injury. Newsday's Mets beat reporter Laura Albanese has more.
There were two big pieces of news coming out of Mets spring training here at Clover Park in Port St. Lucie. Number one, shortstop Francisco Lindor might need surgery in his left hand. President of Baseball Operations David Stern said there might be a stress fracture in Lindor's left hamate bone. If he does get surgery, and he will be evaluated Wednesday, that means that Lindor will be out for 6 weeks. That does mean he's likely to be available for opening day. If not, though, the Mets have some options at shortstop, but they haven't evaluated which direction they want to go.
He's had soreness, frankly, off and on there for a couple of years, and he's usually able to grind through it. And I don't know when he first felt it, but I think it just persisted to the point where he felt like he should say something about it. And once we examined it a little bit more yesterday, our medical staff determined that he should go see a specialist.
In addition to that, Juan Soto will be playing left field this year for the Mets. Juan Soto primarily played right and hasn't played left field regularly since 2023. But after practicing there at the World Baseball Classic, the Mets thought it would be a better fit, especially as he continues to get reps at that position.
I think it's just where he is comfortable. He's done it in the past. He feels good over there. It didn't make a lot of sense to bounce him back and forth from corner to corner during spring training. It fits with our roster, so we'll go forward with it.
You can read more about the Mets and the Yankees on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. See more on these stories on Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, and the other streaming services you see here. I'm Macy Eglund. We've got more local news coming up.
Enjoy Newsday TV from the comfort of your own home. Watch Newsday TV on your favorite streaming service. Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.